The reality is, when it comes to life, you're not ready and you never will be. You're not ready and you never will be. Were you one of those people who maybe got married or moved in together and you're like, you know what, we really want to have kids, but just not sure if we're ready to have kids? Are we in the right position to have kids at the moment? So you get yourself a dog and go, you know what, if we can keep this thing alive and relatively safe, then, maybe we may be able to stretch ourselves to where we can have a kid and look after the kid and raise that baby okay to where it becomes a beautiful human. We put all these pressures on ourselves about having to be ready and practicing and doing everything like that. But the reality is, when it comes to life, you're not ready and you never will be. Whatever the task, whatever's in front of us, we're never ready to go to that point. I remember before I had kids, I really, really wanted to have kids. And it was always something I wanted to do, was to become a dad. And yet, at the same time, as much as I thought maybe I was ready, I realized afterwards that I really wasn't ready, and I actually had to grow with those kids. And the reality was that as we had these beautiful babies, beautiful children who were growing and changing, and I remember going through the whole emotions of everything that comes with having a baby, and you've got a newborn baby there, and as you're teaching them and training them, and they can be ridiculously defiant upon what you say to do, and how do you feed them? How do you actually get them to sleep? And should you encourage them to walk like this? Or what's the best way to go about it? And then they'd have little issues, or they'd act like they were sick or tired or something's going on, or they just wouldn't stop crying. Just didn't stop crying for hours. And you think, what is going on? And you're reading all the books, you're trying to learn as much as you possibly can, so that you can be equipped and you can know what's going on and you can know how to deal with every situation. Now, if you've ever been there, you'll understand that every time something like that happens, and you love that baby so much that you only want the very best for them, but every time something like that happens, you realize you're out of your depth. You don't know what to do. You're not sure where you're going. But we grow with them. And I can honestly say, I think in raising my kids, that they taught me as much about life as what I ever taught them about anything. They taught me as much about being a dad or being a leader as much as I taught them about anything. And that's how life is. None of us are ever ready for it. We're never at a point where we've got this covered. If you're wanting to go and start a business, are you ready? No, you're not. Because until you've had a business, you don't realize how hard it actually really, really is. You don't realize how many hours you got to put in, and the study you got to do, and the stresses and pressures that you don't get by being a manager, an employee, or being a position where you're overseeing people. It's a completely different thing altogether. I know I've, coming from a real estate background, talked to a number of people who are interested in getting real estate. And they're like, yeah, I just love it. It looks like fun. And you're showing houses, and you're sitting and you're having coffee and you're talking with people. And it's like, yeah, that's all great. That's fun. That's sort of like 10%, maybe 15% of the job. But the amount of work that goes into actually being a really successful, happy real estate agent is huge, absolutely enormous. And if that's what you think it is like, then you're not ready for it yet, because the hours that go into, the study that goes into, the knockbacks and kickbacks that you get constantly is part of what happens. And it's like that in real estate. And whatever you're going into, don't wait till you're ready, because you're never going to be ready. If there's something you're wanting to do, you're never going to be ready for that promotion where you become a leader and you've got people around you. You're never going to be ready. Because once you get to that position of leadership and you're having people with you, you realize you're probably not as good as what you think you are. I remember the first business that I owned, first real business that I owned, and having a team of staff, and I thought I knew how to look after people because I'd been in roles and positions where I was looking after 40, 50 people. And so I thought I had this pretty much down. And I had my staff, and in the first business, I think we only had about 6 or 7 staff at the time, and where I can remember doing some really weird things. And I'm like, later on, I'm like looking back and going, you really had no idea what you were doing. You're a terrible boss, a terrible leader. Because when you're in that position and you've got finance issues going on, and you've got customer issues going on, and you've got the lease that you've got to look after, and you've got this staff member complaining about this staff member, and you don't want to favor one staff member over the other one, but this one's really, really good at what they do, but they're putting some negative vibes around the rest of the team, and if you lose this one, you lose a lot of customers. And so where does it all fit? You're never ready for it. You're never ready for any of that. But if you got something that you want to do, then now's the time to start. Not tomorrow. Now's the time to start. Whatever it is that you're wanting to do, wherever you're wanting to go, you can start now. Start preparing yourself. You're never going to be at the place where you think you should be to be in the right position, because it's always very different. We all know the saying about, as you set out that you want all the lights to be green before you start. Well, the reality is, if you wait till all the lights are green, by the time you get to the next one, it's going to be red anyway, because the lights change. That's how life is. And when it comes to us going somewhere or doing something, we're never going to be ready. But I want to encourage you, just start. Get out, have a go, just start. Because it will make a massive difference on your life. And if you don't start, you'll look back years later in regret and go, why didn't I just give it a go? There's so many times that I've failed over the years, but in no way do I look back and go, why did I do that and fail? But I would have looked back and go, why didn't I at least give it a go? Because I'd rather have a go doing what I want to do, stepping out into area that I want to step out into, to try and become the person that I want to become, than just let it all go past and then later on look back and go, why didn't I at least give it a go? What is it that you would really love to have a go at, but think maybe I'm not ready, or maybe think you are ready, but you're putting it off because of fear of finance, reputation, you don't have time, whatever it is? What is it that's there for you that you feel, I'm not ready? Now's the time for you to step up and become the person that you've always wanted to be. Create the life you want and leave a legacy you can be proud of.